In the fast-paced world of Hollywood, we often get caught up in the glitz, glamour, and larger-than-life personas of celebrities. But every so often, a moment comes along that shows us the humanity behind the fame. One such moment recently took place with none other than Clint Eastwood, a man who's built a reputation as the tough, no-nonsense star of films like Dirty Harry and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Known for his stoic demeanor, his roles have often been filled with grit and resilience. But behind that tough exterior is a man who has not only carved out a legacy in film, but has also demonstrated kindness in real life when it's needed most. Picture this. It's a quiet day in Carmel by the Sea, California, a town known for its scenic coastal views and charming atmosphere. Eastwood, now in his 90s, is driving through the area when he comes across an elderly, homeless woman in distress. Instead of driving past, as most of us might do, Eastwood took the unexpected step of stopping his car to lend a hand. And this wasn't just any quick exchange. This was a genuine, compassionate moment that revealed a side of Clint Eastwood that not many are familiar with. It all began on a relatively ordinary afternoon when Eastwood was behind the wheel of his car, driving through the town he's called home for decades. As he drove, he noticed an elderly woman, visibly struggling, walking along the road. She appeared to be in poor health and was clearly having trouble with her mobility. What Eastwood did next is what makes this story so remarkable. Instead of continuing on his way, Eastwood pulled his car over to the side of the road. This was not a quick, impersonal gesture. Clint Eastwood got out of his car, approached the woman, and began speaking with her. He didn't just offer her a couple of dollars and leave. He engaged with her in a way that suggested genuine concern. After assessing the situation, Eastwood did what many of us might have hesitated to do. He offered to help. He took the elderly woman into his car and drove her to a nearby shelter where she could receive the care and assistance she needed. Now, this might sound like a simple act of kindness, but it's important to remember that Clint Eastwood is a very public figure. His every move is often under scrutiny, and yet he didn't let fame, or the potential for it to be exploited, interfere with doing the right thing. He didn't stop to get attention. There were no cameras, no journalists, no reporters clamoring for a shot. He simply saw someone in need and responded with compassion, just as any of us should. This isn't the first time Clint Eastwood has demonstrated his generosity. Over the years, Eastwood has supported various charitable causes, from programs benefiting at-risk youth to helping military veterans. But this particular moment stands out because it's a rare glimpse into his character, a side of him that's not seen in his films, where he often plays the tough, almost invincible man who never shows weakness. In real life, however, Eastwood's actions show that he is, at heart, a man of principle and compassion. It's also worth noting that Eastwood's actions highlight something many of us overlook, the impact of helping those who are often forgotten by society. Homelessness is a complex issue, with many factors contributing to it, and people who find themselves in such a situation are often stigmatized or ignored. In this case, Eastwood didn't see an elderly woman on the streets as just a statistic. He saw a person in need of help, and he took the time to make a difference. What makes this story even more remarkable is that Clint Eastwood is not exactly a stranger to controversy or criticism. Over the years, he's been the subject of both admiration and criticism for his outspoken views and tough guy persona. But here, in this moment, he chose to demonstrate the kind of empathy that transcends politics, fame, and public perception. His decision to help the woman wasn't based on any agenda. It was simply the right thing to do, and that is something that resonates deeply with people, regardless of their background or beliefs. It's also important to recognize the power of small actions like this. The world often feels overwhelmed by big issues, global crises, systemic problems, and societal challenges that can feel impossible to solve. But moments like this show that each of us, regardless of our status or resources, has the ability to make a difference in someone's life. Clint Eastwood might be a celebrity, but this story reminds us that his humanity is no different from anyone else's, and perhaps that's the most powerful takeaway of all. In a world that often celebrates fame and wealth, it's easy to forget that the true value of a person lies in their character and actions, especially when no one is watching. Clint Eastwood's act of stopping to help an elderly homeless woman is a powerful reminder of this truth. It's not about being recognized or praised for doing the right thing, it's about simply doing it because it's the right thing to do. This story also speaks to something deeper, a challenge for all of us. How often do we pass by someone in need, telling ourselves we're too busy, or we assume someone else will help? We live in a world filled with distractions, and sometimes it's hard to make time for others, especially when we're focused on our own lives. But Clint Eastwood's choice to stop and offer assistance shows us that even in our busy, fast-paced world, there's always space for kindness. Imagine if more people followed his example. What if we all took a moment to check in with someone who might be struggling, to offer a helping hand when we see someone in need? The ripple effect of small acts of kindness is immeasurable. It can change a life, even if it's just for a moment. And sometimes that's all someone needs, a moment of kindness to remind them that they are seen and valued. What's truly remarkable about this act is that Clint Eastwood, a man who's made a career out of playing tough, no-nonsense characters, didn't let his public persona define who he was when it came to real-life decisions. He wasn't playing a role. He was simply being himself, a person who cares about others. This act of compassion is not just a one-time gesture. It reflects a deep-seated value of empathy and respect for human dignity. In the years to come, Clint Eastwood will continue to be remembered for his iconic roles in film. But perhaps moments like this one will stand out as part of his legacy, reminding us that behind every legend, there is a real person with a heart capable of extraordinary kindness. As we reflect on this story, let's not just admire Clint Eastwood's actions, but let it serve as an inspiration for our own lives. Let's challenge ourselves to be present for others, to show kindness when we can, and to always remember that the greatest measure of a person's character isn't their fame, wealth, or status. It's their willingness to show compassion in times when it's needed most. In the end, this story of Clint Eastwood helping a homeless elderly woman serves as a testament to the simple truth that we all have the power to make a positive difference in the world, regardless of our circumstances. It's not about being a superstar or having access to wealth and resources. It's about being human and recognizing the value in every person, no matter their situation. If there's anything this moment teaches us, it's that we all have the capacity to be heroes in our own right. We don't need a film set or a script to guide our actions. Sometimes all it takes is a moment of compassion and the courage to step in and help when someone needs it. Clint Eastwood, through his surprising and selfless gesture, has given us all a reminder of the impact we can have on the lives of others, simply by being present and offering our support when it's needed most. As the story of Clint Eastwood's unexpected act of kindness circulates, it serves as a reminder that even the most seemingly untouchable figures in society are capable of empathy. Clint Eastwood is a man who has lived a life full of accolades that range from his contributions to the arts to his years of service in the public eye. Yet despite all his fame and success, he chose to use his influence and his moment in time to make a direct and tangible difference in someone's life. This story isn't just about a famous actor doing a good deed. It's a reflection of the broader importance of compassion in a world that often feels divided by fame, wealth, and status. When the cameras aren't rolling, when there's no script to follow, the true measure of a person's character is revealed by their actions toward those less fortunate, those who might not be able to help themselves. In a world where the homeless, the elderly, and the vulnerable often fall through the cracks, Eastwood's actions were a stark contrast to the apathy that can sometimes plague society. We live in a time when so much of what we see on social media and in the press is curated to show the best or sometimes the worst of people's lives. We rarely get glimpses of the quieter, more intimate moments of kindness that occur when no one is watching. This story, though, stands out precisely because it wasn't a public stunt or a staged event for the cameras. Clint Eastwood didn't do this to make headlines. He did it because it was the right thing to do, plain and simple. He took a moment out of his day without hesitation to offer his help to someone who needed it, without expecting anything in return. This is the type of story we need to hear more of, especially in today's world. The pressures of modern life can often cause us to overlook the small, everyday acts of kindness that make all the difference. Yet, Moments like this one shine through as reminders that doing good, helping others, and showing kindness are the true markers of greatness. Moreover, Clint Eastwood's act can inspire us to consider how we can make a difference in the lives of those around us. Whether it's lending a hand to someone in need, offering support to a friend, or simply showing a bit of kindness to a stranger, these small but meaningful actions can have a profound impact. It doesn't require fame or fortune to make a positive change. It requires a willingness to see others as they are and to act with compassion when the opportunity arises. For Eastwood, the simple act of helping this elderly woman was a moment of humanity that transcended his public image. In a way, it gave us a new perspective on the man behind the famous roles, the tough cowboy, the grizzled detective, the uncompromising hero. Yes, Clint Eastwood has played these roles and many more, but in real life, his actions reveal that he embodies much more than just these on-screen personas. He is a person who values human connection, empathy, and the simple act of caring for another. This story also serves as a powerful reminder that we should never judge a person based on their past or their public image. Everyone, regardless of who they are or what they've done, has the potential for kindness. Clint Eastwood, despite being a legend in Hollywood, showed that even the most famous and accomplished people have the ability to perform selfless acts that bring real, positive change to the world. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about Clint Eastwood. It's about all of us. It challenges us to reflect on how we treat others and whether we're willing to take the time to help those who might need it most. It's an invitation to take a step back from our busy lives, slow down for a moment, and recognize the opportunities we have to make the world a little better through simple acts of kindness. So, as we reflect on this surprising moment in Clint Eastwood's life, let's not forget the message it carries with it, that every day offers us the chance to make a difference, to help someone in need, and to show kindness. Whether or not we're famous, whether or not we're known to the world, each of us has the power to impact the lives of others in ways that go far beyond the public eye. And in a world that can sometimes feel disconnected, those acts of kindness are the ties that bind us all together. In the end, Clint Eastwood's decision to stop and help a homeless elderly woman is a moment of grace that transcends age, fame, and status. It's a reminder that the true essence of a person's character shines through when they take the time to help others. And while his story is inspiring, it's not just about Eastwood. It's a call to action for all of us to be more present for those around us, to see the humanity in everyone, and to offer help when it's needed most. The legacy of this moment, no matter how small it may seem, is a powerful testament to the enduring strength of compassion and kindness. As we continue to reflect on Clint Eastwood's act of kindness, it's important to consider how this moment connects to broader themes in our society. In an age where headlines are often dominated by sensational news, celebrity drama, and political discord, it's easy to feel disconnected from the more human, everyday stories that have the power to touch us deeply. Eastwood's decision to stop his car and help a homeless woman highlights the simplicity yet profound impact of kindness, a message that feels increasingly rare in today's world. It also draws attention to the growing issue of homelessness, particularly among the elderly. While many people might dismiss the homeless as faceless individuals, Eastwood's moment of kindness reminds us that each person has a story, each life is precious, and everyone, regardless of their circumstances, deserves compassion. As a society, we often focus on the challenges of addressing homelessness through systemic change, but it's moments like this that reveal the importance of human connection and individual action. By simply stopping to help, Eastwood gave this elderly woman something priceless, a moment of dignity, comfort, and care. Additionally, Eastwood's act serves as a reminder of the power of empathy. It's easy to become desensitized to the suffering of others when we are consumed by our own lives, but true empathy is about recognizing the humanity in others, especially in those who may not be able to ask for help or advocate for themselves. Clint Eastwood could have easily passed by, just as many of us would have. But by choosing to see the woman as a person in need rather than a passing obstacle, he demonstrated how even the smallest gestures can create profound change in someone's life. This story is also about challenging our assumptions. We often think of celebrities as distant, living in a world of privilege, unaffected by the issues we face on the ground. Yet Clint Eastwood's actions serve as a powerful reminder that fame and fortune don't define a person's worth or character. It's their actions, their willingness to act with integrity and kindness, that truly speaks to their values. In a world where people are quick to judge and criticize based on appearances or fame, Eastwood's act of compassion is a call to reevaluate how we perceive others, whether they are famous or not. Moreover, his decision to help also highlights the importance of being present in the moment. Often, we're so caught up in our routines and obligations that we fail to notice the people around us who are silently struggling. Clint Eastwood's ability to recognize the woman's need and to take immediate action teaches us the importance of slowing down and being attentive to the world around us. When we pause, we open ourselves up to the possibility of making a meaningful difference, no matter how small or fleeting the interaction may seem. This story, while focused on a single act of kindness, is a reflection of a much larger idea. That every single person, regardless of their position in life, has the potential to contribute to the betterment of society. It's not about grand gestures or making headlines. It's about being there for each other when it matters. Whether you're a celebrity like Clint Eastwood or an ordinary person, the ability to show kindness is universal. We all have the power to make someone's day a little brighter, to offer help when needed, and to remind someone that they are not alone. As we think about this moment, it also challenges us to be more aware of the issues around us, particularly when it comes to social and economic disparities. Homelessness is an issue that, despite efforts to address it, continues to affect millions of people worldwide. The story of Clint Eastwood stopping to help an elderly woman brings attention to this issue in a way that is personal and relatable. While one man can't solve all the problems, his decision to act as an individual reminds us that every small step counts. If everyone took the time to help even one person in need, the collective impact could be immeasurable.